Prepare for trouble.
Make double.
To protect Hyrule from
To unite all racers within our nation.
to denounce the evils of truth.
To extend our reach to the stars above. West.
To prevent a seed that
Be sure to check Lumberjack at first sight.
Yeah, that's right.
And now that that's out of the way, welcome on into the Go Mode Podcast Twitch channel. My name is Westside Vandal. I'm here with Jinxie Girl, and we just blasted off again, and probably for the last time, because why on earth do these people let us have a platform to do anything?
agree.
All right, so now that we got the in-joke out of the way, we are going to be doing our usual business of ostensibly commentating on a Challenge Cup race here. That's Gloves in Link's chest.
Yeah.
Also, Signumbs appears to be having some issues. Anyway,
Oh,
so yeah, this is just game one of their bracket round series. So it's just a standard. I say standard, but it's like tournament standard settings. So it's just an open 7-7 defeat Ganon. We were so busy setting up the Teen Rocket gag that that everything's gone completely pear-shaped.
it's it. We're gonna.
All right.
Team Rocket tends to screw some stuff up, but then it comes all together,
Yep.
so it's fine. Everything's fine.
Bombs. Speaking of not panicking, bombs!
So far, nothing really exciting other than those gloves that we found at Link's house. So let's go take a look at Kakariko Village.
Sanctuary.
Oh no, it looks like Lumaga is going to go straight for the back. Both of them are right to the back of Hyrule Escape.
I just realized I was watching the Twitch page and not the Mixer page. Nailing it!
Totally professional.
Yep.
Let's see what we have in the back of Escape, and I don't know because everything froze. I did see a key.
I saw a key and I saw a heart, heart container, I believe. Double checking.
Okay,
No, that's the Cane of Burna and a heart container, or Cane of Samaria. Oh my God.
Wow.
Cane of Samaria, because that's the red one. It goes faster because it's red.
Oh, a map check. We have the green pendant at Tower of Hera. Looks like a couple crystals in Desert and Eastern.
Anyway.
Selected to lead, not to read.
All right. We're going to get a tree pull here from Lumaga. Big 20. Nice. And magic from the bush grab. And you'd better check that lumberjack, Lumaga. Thank you. Oh, Signumbs is doing it too.
Yeah, I think they know that we're kind of cursed.
Yep.
With lumberjack there. Just some bombs. How
All right,
boring.
so both runners now have enough to pay the bottle vendor at least, and they've got a couple bombs to do the back of Kakariko Well and Blind Sut. I mean, yes, our intro was so powerfully done, it reached back 15 minutes in time.
Yes, it did. Ooh, we
Oh.
have a sword in Lost Woods.
That's a pokey thing. That's nice.
Always nice to find early.
And more bombs. All right, so we're set for quite a bit here. You got the cane to take care of things, a sword to take care of things. You don't really need to worry too much more about bombs for the time being.
Yeah, definitely a nice start. Looks like our tier 1 tree pull was just a heart refill there.
All right. So now both runners heading to Kakariko. Not too much time apart from each other. My God, I just find myself staring at the majesty that is Signumbs timer. That is like that is majestic. GDQ needs to switch to that. Anyway, stretching
Ooh, a
artifacting and all.
bottle.
That's a bottle. Nice. And that's the hook shot. Even nicer.
Yeah, definitely some really nice items starting out here.
And powder. Good gracious. So for now, that's going to be some good backup, because that'll allow the powdering of anti-fairies. Once we find either the hammer or the mirror, that'll allow us to get to the bat as well. Pretty loaded start here so far.
Yeah, definitely a lot of really nice items here in the beginning.
And more bombs. Heart piece. We're waiting for Pearl on Pyramid Ledge. Whoa. Mushroom. Blue mail. Piece of heart. So I think it's safe to say this is a stack of Rico so far. Good gracious.
Definitely a fetch quest, Kakariko.
Oh, that is some top tier negotiation right there from Lumaga. He must have been watching that Fallout 4 run on GDQ prior to this.
Oh, 300 bucks from the bottle vendor. Oh, our second sword in the chicken hut and a glove. That kind of tells me an early Zora might be in order.
Yeah. Yeah, Zora. We are a lamp away from Aga 1. A
Oh my
tempered sword.
gosh.
What the? Wow.
Why don't I ever get
Wow.
seeds like this?
Apparently, poorly thought out Team Rocket parodies result in jet seeds. Who knew?
Oh, you just cursed them. Now it's an Oops All Dungeons.
Well, I mean, at least they won't really have any trouble with the combat with tempered before they even gotta get out of Kakariko. Bombs.
Just some bombs on our library.
A lot of bombs behind Bootloss locations. Cool Papa Bell pointing out, Lamp would also open up a lot of Death Mountain at this point, so that seems rather unlikely.
Oh, it was a 5-6 at Eastern. I didn't realize that.
Oh, hello. 15 seconds. Lumaga went to do the throw strats and then remembered, oh wait, I found 3 swords already. Bombos, hello.
Nice. Could be an early Ice Palace there. We do have the hook shot and one of our gloves.
Alright, yeah, you're right. We do have... Yeah, that's... early Ice Palace. Those are words you want to hear in sequence. Alright. So now, Lumaga looks like he's going to go down here and do the South Shore checks. So, the Dam and Mini Moldorm and Ice Rod Cave.
Yeah, definitely a typical opening with routing. So many items you can get to. That hookshot makes it a little easier in the dam.
Alrighty. Big 20. And it looks like Signumbs gonna follow right behind. I was gonna say you might also want to think about. Well, we don't really have Fire Source. Never mind. I was gonna say Escape is also sitting right there as well.
Yeah, they also have that mushroom. Could have done a little fake flipper there to get up to the witch's hut pretty quick. And check that. I always get nervous when I get fetch quest items pretty early.
Yeah. I would say I wouldn't be surprised to see Lumaga do something to that effect here, because it isn't too much to get back over to the mushroom vendor from where fake flippering to Zora takes you.
Yeah.
And he does have the power glove to be able to lift that rock and get there. So we shall see. Another bottle.
Another bottle. Interesting.
And
Shovel.
a shovel.
Every fetch quest imaginable.
Cane of Bursamaria. I mean, You've gotten me singing once already tonight. No, we're not doing that, Amaranth.
Interesting that Lumaga is leaving Ice Rod Cave.
Yeah, that is rather interesting. Maybe he's just figuring he'll loop it in when he finds Flute, or when he decides to fake Flipper, because it looks like he wants to do Zora, but wants to do it all at once, and he's 128 rupees short.
Yeah.
Or excuse me, 118 because math. Uh, all right. Then Signumbs is gonna see what is in that ice rod cave. So we're gonna see whose cuisine reigns supreme here. I mean, whose routing reigns supreme.
And I believe that's our third item from Hyrule Castle.
Second, because that's the first chest in front, and we found a rupee on Sanctuary.
Wasn't there a heart also in the back of Escape?
Oh wait, there was, and the
Oh, Fire Rod!
oh dear, that's a problem. That's a problem for Lumaga. And yeah, I forgot back of Escape was checked because we got the early buffs. So in fact, that was like the fourth item because
Yeah, I think that's four.
there was the rupee in Sanctuary, heart container, and Cane of Samaria in back of Escape. So yeah, Signumb's now going to have fire mixtape, as it were. I hated that the second it came out of my mouth. And that's
Looks
saying
like
something,
Signumb's gonna
considering
go ahead
the
and
past
check
history on
that
this channel.
shovel.
All right, shovel check coming. 300 rupees in Zelda's cell, so Lumaga could definitely go
I
do those flipper checks.
think. Oh, had a fairy. I think that means that our map isn't our cross. Maybe not.
No, I believe we saw the map while we were talking about item counts.
Oh, okay. Shovel just having 20 rupees.
Yeah. Yep. Chat confirming map was in boomerang chest.
Oh, good. Okay,
Right.
thank you. So there is an item in the Dark Cross, which is now in logic for Signum because he did pick up that
And
fire rod.
what are those on Lake Hylia Island?
Oh, please say that was the boots. I missed it.
It was. It was.
Oh, how evil. I think it's worse knowing where they are and not being able to get them.
Yep. All right, Lumaga decides to unwind from that and go check Saha's closet here. Yeah, there's a pretty good chance we're going to be needing that fire rod because there are 2 dungeons at least that just straight up require it. And we only know where one of the pendants is. That's the flute in Saha's closet. So I would assume we're going to see Lumaga grab that and then flute to 8 and do, at the very least, Sora's Domain. I would not be surprised if he also does Ice Rod Cave while he is doing so. Reese Rumor pointing out he could almost certainly flute up Death Mountain as well, which would make a whole bunch of sense because with that hook shot, we have access to Paradox and Spiral. And that is a lot of item checks. Meanwhile, 13 minutes, 46 seconds in. Please rise for the Hyrulean National Anthem. The duck is amuck, the goose is loose. Honk! interesting. Lumaga deciding not to use that flute.
Gonna go check that shovel.
Ah, good call.
Yeah, better to do it after you get that flute because it's easy to forget that it's there.
Alright. Signumbs, meanwhile, making his way to Saha's closet. Gonna be picking up that flute here for himself. Oop. Menuing. Lumaga, please. There we go. I think what was tripping him up there was he was still in the animation for the shovel, so the game was refusing to let him switch away from the shovel. So he had to move away for a sec and make sure that, you know, he wasn't trying to dig anymore. Turns in the mushroom now. I think, yeah, he's just kind of looping in these fetch quests here. What's in the mushroom? That's the moon pearl!
Oh my.
Good gracious, what is this seed? Alright, and there's the flute to 8. And we're gonna see the fake flipper here. Nicely done. Gonna go up to Hobo and see what the Hobo has for us. Hopefully he remembers Ice Rod Cave is a thing before he wraps things up here.
Yeah, because that's gonna cause a lot of problems for.
Yep. Unless he gets very, very lucky and our 2 pendants are exactly Skull Woods and Turtle Rock in the Dark World.
Hobo with just 10 sticks.
But then again, you know, you'd be looking for the lamp for desert as well. So whereas the fire rod can also accomplish that check just fine. Yeah, the flute does make it easier for him to come back and check Ice Rod Cave when he eventually remembers its existence. Hopefully it's sooner rather than later, i.e. immediately after he does these Zora checks, but we shall see. Meanwhile, Signumbs doing the Dark Old Man rescue. Did Signumbs take that fire rod and check the Dark Cross room? I did not happen to see that. Single Arrow of Destiny, and 3 bombs in Waterfall Ferry. Waterfall Ferry is handing out blue potions today. Nice.
Not terrible. And just a full heart from our.
Well, I mean, it's useful for Signumbs because he's just getting absolutely bodied by the death cabbages here.
Yeah.
That was
always.
a shield, it looked like, on Zora Ledge.
I miss it. I'm gonna catch the recap. Words. The recap here.
Alright, Lumaga definitely avoiding the fireballs there. I had a fake flipper turn out poorly for me the other day because I had boots, so I was dashing along and hit one of the rocks. That's never a good feeling. Alright, so King of Scammers with the most expensive 3 bombs of all time. Flute out for Lumaga. Is it going to be to 8 or is it going to be to 1? I'm guessing it's going to be to 1. But hoping for 8. Yep, it's going to be to 1. Alright. Lumaga also going to do the Dark Old Man rescue while Signumbs is now in Paradox Cave. Our 3rd bottle
Wow.
already. Alright. Oop. Fire Rod
Oh.
or Smart.
Yeah, you have magic.
Yep. Red mail. Because this seed wasn't already loaded enough. Bugnet. Here, just have all of the luxury items in the first 20 minutes.
Right?
Okay, so Fire Rod was
Fire Rod was in
Rod
Ice
Cave.
Rock Cave. Sorry about that.
Nope, you're fine. Signumbs is out of bombs. I don't think that's gonna be too much of an issue. Just 20 rupees underneath. Bunch of rupees on Spectacle Rock today.
Yeah, definitely not a poverty seed.
And what's on Floating Island? 10 arrows. Meh. And again, you already got me singing once this seed. I'm not doing the Spiral Cave song. Deal with it. So by this logic, Ice Rod and Swamp Big. Lol. Alright. Lumaga going to Paradox and getting his luxuries. Just 20 rupees in Spiral Cave.
Yeah, that's going to be the end of our Death Mountain trek here.
Yeah.
Nothing
So
really
we've
too
got-
exciting.
Yeah, we've got Agena. And what else do we have at this point?
I think
I think Agena
that's
is it, isn't
about it. Well, Eastern,
Agena, Eastern.
but we can't even fully clear that.
Yeah, Agena, Eastern, and we're still not sure if Signumbs took that Fire Rod and checked Dark Cross.
I don't believe so. I think he was done with it too quick to have checked that.
Our Reese Tracker is hot on the case. Going to go review the logs and see if what we can pull up. Oh dear.
Book on desert.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Okay then. Okay then. And Signums? Okay. Popped into Agena Cave and then decided not to go check the chest. Odd.
No bombs.
Oh, that's right. That came back to bite him a bit more quickly than I thought it would.
Yeah, Mir's definitely not in desert.
Right, Lumaga has made his way through the Death Mountain checks as well. So we'll see where he decides to go next. And now Signums is indeed taking that Fire Rod, and he's going to go check Dark Cross here. Yep, Lumaga is about to receive his Fire Rod. Restreamer confirming.
Thank goodness. I was getting worried that he had completely
Forgotten it, yeah.
just written off that.
Yeah, if he had gone to desert at this point, I would have raised the possibility that he had just straight forgotten it existed. Just a little piece of
Just
love
a heart.
in Dark Cross. So we've got Agenas and at least 2 items in desert. And that is it. Lumaga is going to check Agena, and Signums is going to check Eastern. Or not. Oh, Signums hasn't fake flipped it or anything yet. Also decides to get his bombs. Lumaga, utilizing one of his own bombs, takes some damage, because why not? And receives a little piece of love. So, we need to find either the hammer or the other lift upgrade. in Eastern Palace, or this is an Aga seed for progression into the Dark World.
Yeah, so I'm thinking they're hoping they don't find that lamp
Correct.
in Eastern.
What would be incredibly rude is if it was Lamp, and then one of the Hammer or the Lumaga. You already checked that, buddy. Or is he just going backwards to grab
Yeah, I think he's
that rod?
going back.
Dark rod. Incredibly rude to be like, oh hey, here's the lamp, and then well, no. Because why would you not take that lamp and do all you could in Eastern? Never mind. I was going to say, like, lamp. Oh, wait, no, it could still be pretty rude. Lamp in Eastern, and then hammer or gloves on Armos. Lumaga a little bit lost here. Just the tiniest bit lost. Alright.
We've had a lot of Aga 1 seeds in this tournament so far.
Yeah, it's been interesting, including one that didn't need to be an well, no, it did need to be an Aga seed. Never mind, because that was the entire point of why it was hilarious. Chat pointing out, yeah, Keyrat is being a bit of a problem.
So I think Lumaga only has Eastern left.
That is correct. He only has the Eastern and the Dark Cross left. Yes, technically speaking. Although we know Dark Cross is useless, Lumaga is still trying to get in there. Lumaga just says, "I don't need your key, rat. I'm just gonna go in the front door."
It's interesting though, had a full magic container and the fire rod.
Yeah.
I could just lit the torch there.
This is actually a valid point now that I think about it.
It's easy to forget though that you have it, I guess.
Or that there are torches in that particular room, because I know that there's torches in the rooms Lumaga is doing right now. But for some reason, I never think of the ones in the water rooms. And yeah, I do also have to agree with Emerith, our restreamer. I'm not sure I would have done Dark Cross before doing Eastern at this point. Looks like we're going to have our runners in a constant state of high-fiving going through Eastern.
Yeah, it's been a pretty linear seed so far.
Signumbs deciding to flute over to 5 and save a little bit of a walk. By which I mean he is going to get into the dungeon by a couple seconds. Is this faster if you don't have a glove?
I don't think.
No, because you can't go this way unless you have a glove, because you have to lift the blocking the stairs. Not quite sure what was yes, there, honestly. But
Oh,
there's the
there's
mirror.
mirror.
Which, hey, puts that book into logic. Which, hey,
And
puts
Hera.
us into desert, and also, yes, Hera. All right.
Having the hook shot for Eastern just always makes me feel like a
Yeah.
lot better. I feel like for some reason that just...
Chat pointing out that we need the Titans mitts to get the book because, yes, you do need that to get into the Dark Portal. Because this isn't Azeroth and the Dark Portal isn't 20 stories tall. Chat is here to keep
We
me
are
honest.
Team Rocket. Honesty is not...
Chat is here to keep me honest and then encourage bad ideas like what happened at the start of this race. Or at the start of this broadcast, I should say. Alright. Back on track here in Eastern Palace. Nothing too earth-shattering besides that mirror.
Yeah, gonna go slightly out of logic here for our big key chest in Eastern Palace.
I mean, there is that too, cool Papa Bell. Chad is here to think of the most horrific nightmare chains of logic that would make even Math Girl weep at their bloody awfulness, but also to keep commentators honest on forgetting things like basic progression. Also, shoutouts to Oro for pointing out that I clear my throat a lot when I'm trying to change the subject. I believe he's actually racing at the moment, so...
Yeah, this seat is just very demanding on where it wants you to go. It looks like they're going to have to head back up that mountain to Tower of Hera.
Yep. And that was all three... Oro in chat going, nope, race just finished. And that was indeed all three items in Eastern. So we will only need to go back there once we have acquired the bow to kill ourselves some Armos Knights.
Although it could be important for our Pyramid Fairy check.
This is true. That's certainly one word for it, Amaranth.
Yeah, I feel like that's being generous.
I'm just amazed you haven't done the thing.
Swamp is our other 5/6 pendants at Misery Mire and Skull Woods.
I'm just amazed nobody's taken the thing from Discord and posted in chat yet. And now that I've said that out loud, it's going to happen.
It's amazing.
Alright, into Hera we go. Something Team Rocket parody. Something Dark Side. Something complete. Oh, that's evil. Oh, hey, Sailor Nep in chat. Bit late, but I manually tested. Walking to Eastern Palace without glove versus fluting to 5 without glove. Fluting to 5 is still several seconds faster. Good to know. Alright. Continuing into Tower of Hera. Just constant high fives.
And don't forget, we have known where the boots are for a significant amount of time, just do not have the resources to get it.
Yep, we need the hammer or other Dark World access to be able to get there. Lumaga pulling off the hookshot trick nicely. Did get the map. I checked that on the restream. And now we still, I believe, have one item left.
We do indeed.
So hopefully Moldorm is carrying it, and he doesn't give us the small key, because that would be kind of annoying. Oop. With Tempered, this fight shouldn't really be a problem for either of our runners. Lumaga takes him down with ease, and Signumbs not too far behind.
This is also our green pendant.
Oh, hello. And that's also the small key. And speaking of pendants, somebody in chat pointed out that with the way the crystals are laid out, we could indeed have a bow on the pedestal. And it looks like both of our runners are not going to take the risk that the basement doesn't have anything significant. They're both going to take the coffee break, I would assume. Yep, Lumaga setting it up. Signumbs is not. Well, Lumaga was setting it up until he messed it up. Signumbs. Alright, both of them are taking coffee breaks. And while we're waiting around, now would be a good time to remind you, this is the Go Mode Podcast Twitch, brought to you by the Go Mode Podcast. If you like the content, feel free to subscribe to the podcast, join the Discord, follow our runners, our commentators, Tracker, and Restreamer. And look at all that beautiful, beautiful command spam in chat.
You really do clear your throat every time.
Yep. I've been trying to avoid it, and then it'll happen just on reflex. I'm just like, "Nyeh."
I'll have to turn in that green pendant. That's pretty much all
Yep.
we have left. So it's
Indeed
probably
it is.
either going to be our other glove, our hammer, or our lamp.
It's gonna be the lamp at this point, because this seed is just stringing us along. It went, hey, have all the luxuries, but then I'm just going to be a massive pain.
Yeah, extremely linear seed right now. Really no room at all for divergence.
Nope. And lamp!
Oh!
Ooh, boy. So, yeah, that's a thing. So, 38, just spend 38 minutes of your life trying to avoid Aghanim 1. The game go, nope. And you basically had to full clear this seed, because the light world this seed. Well, I suppose you could have gone directly to Eastern, grabbed the mirror, and then gone directly to Hera. With how early the gloves were.
True.
But oof,
Who wants to do that, you know?
that's some galaxy brain level routing right there.
I mean,
Sahabat is,
if the race stays like this, it's going to be very, very close.
yeah. It's gonna be interesting to see if the seed opens back up once we hit the dark world, because then we might be able to see some divergence and see some gambles and see if separation happens. But if the seed stays this linear, it is going to be very, very close. Excuse me. Oro pointing out that Sahabat is feeling cruel today. Sahabat is just taking advantage of the fact that Sinek is currently enjoying himself at GDQ to cause havoc. His coder is not here to tweak things behind the scenes, so he can generate as many evil seeds as he wants. Also, good point from Slowpoke. Today? Yeah, about that. All right. The climb continues for both of our runners. Our stun price today, by the way, is 5 rupees. Tempered Sword making quick work of the red spear guards here.
So how many blue balls will Aga have for us today?
I mean, given everything else this seed has done, I would not be surprised to see it reach the double digits.
I don't know. I feel like it's going to be pretty nice. Although true Aga required seeds tend to have more blue balls, in my opinion.
Yep. All right. We will find out very shortly here. As here's the cutscene. Does that tinking Lumaga did to enrage both guards to charge him? I'm not sure if it works that way. Oh, apparently it does. Today I learned.
There's one.
2.
Two.
Oh boy. All right. We're getting up there already. Oh. Of course I say that and immediately see an energy ball. And another one. And there's blue ball number 3. And 4. Oh, man. Actually, it looks like we're up to 5 now. Sorry, I'm bouncing between screens trying to figure something out here. 6. 7. Oh my god. Aga, please. Alright. Unless I missed one, I think that's 7. Lucky number 7.
Yeah, I looked
Right.
away. I only got to 6 on my count.
Yeah. And just $100 on the pyramid ledge. Bradley got the 411 on that side from Signumbs.
This could be where our divergence is going to come, because they do have that hook shot. So Lumaga could decide to go to pod, whereas Signum might go, across the dark hack. Does have that mirror, so would be able to check graveyard ledge as well.
Right. And
Lumaga's going straight across.
Yeah. Dangerous game, orphaning catfish. Signumbs again going to go out of his way to check it. Good going out of his way, pay off twice in one seed. Because remember, Signumbs checked Ice Rod early with the mini Moldorm checks and was rewarded with the Fire Rod. And he's going to get rewarded with a full heart container. Well, all right. And there's another one for the Throat Clear counter for those playing along at home. 20 rupees on Graveyard Ledge.
That would be an excellent time to know how to do the splash deletion. Can you do it with only bombs?
I haven't really been keeping track of all that because I've still got a long way to go before I want to deal with that sort of trickery.
That early, and if you can do the kern jump, getting those early boots would be a big move.
True. Bombs in Samario works, according to chat. Alright, well. Just 5 rupees on the bumper cave, so we will not be seeing that come into play today.
Oh, it
Chad
can
also
full
pointing out.
clear Skull Woods, although that is another pendant.
I will point out, chat mentioning you can't mirror out of Fake Flipper.
Oh, really?
Apparently not.
I thought you could.
Fairy Revival will put you in a water walk. I'm just repeating words from chat at this point because, like I said, this is a bit too advanced for me.
Oh, I gotcha. Okay.
Alrighty, that was one full heart container as the first item in Skull Woods. Tempered should be able to keep those Gyvdos at bay pretty well. Alright. Lumaga continuing the trek back towards the last chest we have logical access to in Skull Woods to see if we can... Oh wait, we have Fire Rod. Never mind. Don't mind me. And there's our
that's a
first shield. So that is both of our items, and Lumaga's just going to go ahead and nope out of here. Understandable. It's unfortunate we can't yet get to that desert ledge to get that book to see what's on that pedestal right now. Because that's going to be looming large here.
I just like to say I was the one that said you cursed the runners with an Oops All Dungeons by saying it was a jet seed at 10 minutes in. I want that on the record, please.
To quote a meme from the last couple of multi-worlds I've done, duly noted and ignored. Proceeding on into the Village of Outcasts. Chess game. 20 rupees. So net loss, 10 rupees. Not the worst in the world, but definitely not good either. And immediately into Thieves Town is going to go Lumaga. Signumbs also going to go ahead and find his shield and nope out of Skull Woods. Alright, so we've got a full heart container and the
There's
Titan's
our
mitts.
Titan. That opens up a significant amount of things.
Yep. Alright, so it looks like we're going to have some divergence here pretty darn quickly. And, I mean, you know, a bit more significant divergence than what we're seeing now with Signumbs going ahead and checking, like, the C-shaped house and presumably the brewery before going into Thieves Town. Because Lumaga's going to check those after he finishes Thieves. It's not really a question.
Only 2 items out of Thieves Town so far, and no hammer to check that big chest should we find that small key.
Alright.
Yes, Slowpoke, definitely French vanilla mitts there.
Yeah. I'm assuming chat referring to Dr. Light hologram for Mega Man X, which is indeed an amazing bunny sprite.
It would be a great sprite in general. I love that bunny sprite. Like reverse it so you can be
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, holographic Dr. Light, yeah. I gotta say, though, I'm partial to Abigail from Stardew Valley Bunny Sprite because it's a Jumo holding an amethyst, which is hilarious.
Looks like Signumbs found his Titan myth, so the Infinity Gauntlet has been achieved.
All right. We are going to be bombing open the attic on Lumaga's side. And there's our 4th bottle. All right. So if you're our runners, what do you do after this? I would probably just continue to loop in the Southern Dark World checks. Like I would do Smith's Chain, Big Game, Stumpy, K45, Hype.
You can also check Magic Bat now.
True. With that mirror, we could do that.
Although, do you do the Smith chain without the hammer? Or do you wait to get the hammer so you can do hammer pegs?
That's also a good point.
Oh,
Water
there's
toes.
flippers. That is our access to those boots.
Yep, and also opens up Ice Palace. Which, I mean, we could theoretically destroy Ice Palace at this point.
And Swamp Palace. No hammer. Never mind.
Glad to not be the one saying something and then immediately going, wait, that's dumb. Thanks, I appreciate that.
I like the early Swamp play. I have found in V31 that Swamp usually has some pretty decent items.
Yeah, I've seen early Swamp pay out a few times. Also, I just realized we do not have the small key, so that means Blind's going to have an item.
Yeah, well, we found all 4 items.
Oh wait, that's right.
Love,
Yeah.
bottle, flippers, and
Yep.
I think a heart.
You're correct. So remember what I was just saying about saying something and then immediately regretting it? Yeah, there we go. There's
I got
another
you.
example of it.
I got your back. See, if I was playing, I would beeline for those boots, like, immediately.
I wouldn't quite say beeline myself, but I'd be making my way over there while doing the checks en route. And I would probably, because I'm me, I would probably do the Smith's Chain without the hammer and be like, well, I guess I'm coming back for hammer pegs later. But that's just me, and I've been known to make questionable routing decisions constantly.
I think it's definitely easier to kind of backseat drive when you're commentating. I definitely don't make the best.
Chat also pointing out that Desert is now fully clearable. So yeah, that's 1, 2.
So is Misery Mire.
Yeah, but Misery Mire's a pendant, so
I know, but the sea's already been gross, so
this
just suck it up and do it.
This is very, very true. But with talking about the pendants and the seed being gross, let's talk about our ped hype index here. We could have Ice Route on there. We could have Bow on there. We could have one of the medallions that gets us into Turtle Rock on there. That's about it. So, yeah, who was talking about an Ice Rod hunt an hour in earlier? Yeah. Looks like Lumaga is going to do what I would do, and at the very least turn Jeremiah in. And Jeremiah is very, very appreciative and gives us 300 rupees. Holy moly, that is some money right there. Alright, is Lumaga gonna go ahead and portal? Yep, he's gonna portal and do the magic bat here.
Surprised he didn't grab the chest to take with him.
Doesn't the... Oh!
Oh my. What just happened?
He might have been too far south on the portal and the game made him super jump?
That's just cruel.
Ouch. Alright, so... I'm assuming resetting into the dark world here. Holding down after the jump can push you a pixel too far. Yeah. So the question is, does he try that again, or does he just leave it for a second to cool off? I know I'd be that petty to be like, okay, you know what, I'll come back for this later when I'm not seethingly angry. Anyway, before that unfortunate mess happened, I was about to say, doesn't the chest complain if you try to drop down into there? Or try to go to the magic bat?
I play cross keys, so I don't know.
Okay then. Yeah, looks like Lumaga is going to let that magic bat just kind of simmer for a bit. It's like looking into a mirror. Because like I said, that's pretty much what I would do. I'd just be like, okay, you know what? I'll be back for that later.
Yeah, I thought you could take the chest to the magic bat in regular, because I know I've done it in cross keys, but cross keys kind of lets you do a lot of more bizarre things. Like I've taken Jeremiah with me to swamp palace.
Nice. Just a heart container in Cave 45. Signumbs decides to take it, even though he's on red mail and already had 12 hearts. Interesting.
Just the allure of a full heart. It's hard to leave it. Just 10 arrows, 10 bombs from Stumpy.
Right. So we're coming up on the location sometimes known as Hype Cave. So I wonder what we're going to see today. With the amount of items we've seen so far, I highly doubt it's going to be hype, but I'd love to be proven wrong.
I mean, Hype Cave has to be hype at least once in this series. Purple chest, just a piece of heart.
Yep. And hype starts off with a piece of heart of its own. Fire shield. 10 arrows.
That would be our third shield.
And 10 arrows. Eh. I mean, fire shield is okay, I guess. The rest of that, meh. Alright. So far, I haven't really seen a lot of divergence, or at least major divergence. We've just kind of seen, like, Signumbs deciding to take, Gary his chest back before visiting Hype, or opening up C-shaped house and brewery before going into Thieves Town, and then Lumaga did those after did the reverse situation. It'll be interesting to see if the divergence...
Signum's a little bit better set up to grab those boots. Doesn't have to really backtrack by doing the chest first.
Yeah. Looks like Lumaga is going to go up from the south to grab them. And Signumbs is going to take the jump down. Alright, so both of our runners are going to be satisfying their need for speed here. And now we're going to see who decides to make a different play first. Looks like Signumbs is going to head over to Desert. desert area and check things like the Meyer shed and whatnot. And Lumaga is going to follow close behind.
I don't blame them. I mean, there are a few boot checks we can do, but we can also get a crystal from
Ice
desert.
rod.
There's our ice rod.
All right. And checkerboard shave? Really? Really? Okay. Words.
Looks like we need Quake today for Misery Meyer.
All right. Or quack or honk. All right. So, yeah, that lowers the pet index pretty dramatically here. Bow and the medallion required to get into Turtle Rock are the only two things that can be on it. Actually, hold on a minute. Am I misreading this? And I probably am. Could Hammer be on pedestal?
Yeah. Yep.
Oof. Oof. I hate that I just spoke that evil out into the world at about the same time our restreamer did. Because I'm the one on the air, I'm blamed for it. It's a good thing those
I
boots were
agree
on
with
Hylia
that. You
because
could be blamed for that.
So, good thing that those boots were on Hylia Island, because we were boots locked. Big Key was on the torch. Bloomerang!
Mm.
So, yeah, kind of a linear seed so far, which, you know, you've said a few times, but yeah, we needed to get those boots to come here to do, to get the Big Key. That's both items out of desert now. And Signumbs realizes it and mirrors out. Gonna make his way to take down Landless 1. But yeah, we could have bow, we could have hammer, or we could have whatever medallion we need to get into Turtle Rock, which we have not seen yet on that pedestal. Restreamer warning that there will be a timer sync coming up here. Alright. There we go.
Very nice sync transition there, Emma.
Well, no, I wouldn't go so far as to say that, because there is still a lot of stuff we can check. There's several things in, like, even though we need the hammer to clear Palace of Darkness, that does not preclude the hammer from being in Palace of Darkness. Similarly, just because we need the hammer to clear Swamp does not preclude the hammer from being in Swamp.
Or Ice Palace.
Or Ice Palace, correct.
We also have all of Dark Death Mountain.
That is also correct.
We could have Turtle Rock. Because if it's Bombos to open Turtle Rock, that's full clearable.
Mm-hmm. Chat pointing out, wouldn't worry about pedestal unless Quake shows up at this point, which is entirely correct. Because we need the Quake medallion to even get into one of our pendant dungeons, because one of our pendant dungeons is Misery Mire. Synchronized takedowns of Landless for our second crystal. I can count. Third boss kill. Fourth boss kill, technically, because Aga 1 is a boss. Math! Meanwhile, somewhere in Florida, Math Girl looks up all of a sudden and goes, wait, what?
Don't forget King's Tomb Signals. I like Lumaga going into the Dark World here because it's going to be able to check Bumper Ledge, and that's an easy one to forget as well. Granted, we
Well-
don't have the cape yet. That knowledge is still good to have.
We already know what's on Bumper Ledge. Lumaga checked it, I believe, and it's 5 rupees.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Oh, okay. I missed it.
Although, it looks like he... Okay, no. I will admit to being a little confused as to why Lumaga is doing it this way now, because I'm pretty sure he has also checked Graveyard Ledge already. And there's our Quake
There's
Medallion.
Quake.
You were saying earlier, Oro? Ah, Amaranth pointing out Lumaga has not done Catfish. So Lumaga could be trying to stay in Dark World so that he can route Catfish down into Palace of Darkness, which makes perfect sense. Looks like he's going to be checking Dark Death Mountain, trying to get that hook speed, fails twice, decides to heck with it. Throat clearing now is just my throat actually kind of hurts. So clearing probably isn't helping it, but be advised, pet warning alert orange. Oh boy.
The throat thing could be my fault because I'm still like really raspy. You could have sympathy, sore throat pains
Oh
for
boy.
me.
Alright. So looks like we are going to be getting that divergence we were looking for. Because Signumbs is checking Dark Death Mountain, and it looks like Lumaga is going to be doing Catfish into Palace of Darkness. Lumaga about to receive the news that Catfish has nothing for you. Move along. Opens up hook shot. Gonna go check the medallion for Turtle Rock, which is Bombos.
Very interesting. Will he make the Turtle Rock play?
Speaking of interesting, Lumaga not going to go check Palace of Darkness at this point, is going to follow Signumbs up Dark Death Mountain. By going the wrong, is he looping in Spike Cave? Yep, looks like he's doing Spike Cave. Hookshot Cave, meanwhile. Got nothing
Just
for you
a red
besides Red
door.
Meringue, yeah. Lumaga accidentally falls off the side trying to hook speed across the top of Death Mountain. Wisely decides, you know what? Let's not do that again. Both our runners look like they're gonna. Oh, Signumbs is gonna do Ether Tablet. I forgot about this. Oro pointing out correctly that we need Hammer for Spike Cave. I continue.
It would be interesting to see them do Turtle Rock because while there's our cape, while they can full clear it, without that hammer, they can't. Do you risk leaving that?
I don't think I do at this point. Because we are down to just Hammer and Bow from Go mode. But leaving something like...
Oh, that's right. We can't open T-Rock without the hammer. Never mind.
Well, at least you're not the only person forgetting Hammer. We need Hammer for things. And also stuff. Looks like Signumbs...
What if our hammer's on Magic Bag?
Ooh, well, that's gonna put Signumbs in the driver's seat, because he's heading there as we speak. Oh, Lumaga missed the hookshot pull twice. Ouch. Chat praising Signumbs' pathing from place to place, which is a valid point. And that's Buttersword.
So we just have a lot of gross choices right now.
Yeah. All right.
Not
So
too many more item locations to check.
no. Oh, is Signumbs making the play to Misery Meyer here? I think he is. I mean, there's not really anything else to check over
That
here,
is
so
interesting.
for a second there, I thought he had the book equipped. I was like, no, that's not what you need for this one, buddy. Hammer on Fiddy. Oof. That's gonna be an oof for me. Alright. Into Meyer goes Signumbs. We'll see what Lumaga decides to do. Looting to 3. Is Lumaga now going to finally cooled off enough to try and do Magic Bat again? Looks like it.
I want to see him check pit.
That's also a good call. I would concur with Cool Papa Bell here. In this situation, I think I would have gone to Palace of Darkness first, because there's... Oh, hello. Oh my. Well, I mean, to complete my thought, that is now completely invalidated by finding the bow in Pendant Mire.
Oh my gosh, I think he just did it again. No, okay.
I would have gone to Pendant Pad because it is more items to find. The only thing that is hammerlocked in Palace of Darkness is Helmus Arcane.
Oh, it's a Godmire too. It always is when it's a pin.
Oro pointing out that you can cut out a lot of the walk to Pendant Palace of Darkness, in this particular case, by saving and quitting in Dark World because, hey, we had to do Aga 1. Meanwhile,
There's our second item in Mire.
Yep. So, a demigod-like Mire, because we do not have to go do cutscene chest or any of that. And it looks like Signumbs is indeed going to head to Palace of Darkness, and it looks like Lumaga is not going to be too far behind.
What if Hammer is in the second chest of Swamp Palace?
That's disgusting, and I hate you for making me think that. That would almost be worse than it being on the pedestal, to be perfectly honest with you.
No. Now, if Hammer is in pod, Signumbs is in a good spot right now.
If Hammer is in pod, Signumbs is in go mode, which is an amazing spot.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. And if it is in pod, then Lumaga is in some serious trouble. Not only because, yes, Signumbs would be in go mode, but that hammer opens up so much other stuff that it's going to be a while before Lumaga goes, hey, Pendant Mire is a thing. Chat pointing out that the second bow could also very well be in here, which would be amazing.
That would be too generous.
Oh my goodness, the amount of sync in this race right now is too dang high. Ooh boy. Whoop. Signumbs missed the floor though. With the first bomb. He ruined that good sync we had going on. How dare he? chat pointing out, if it does happen to be two bows here in Palace of Darkness, that would still pretty much decide the race, because as close as this race is, silvers versus non-silvers, that would be deal breaker, unless
Yeah.
bad Ganon execution happened. Yeah, Timp, I can't wait for them to watch this back either, because Lumaga is going to ban me from commentating ever again after the beginning of the seed.
I mean, they haven't banned us yet, so.
I'm still amazed nobody has gone back and clipped that or done the thing I talked about earlier.
I don't think I want to hear it, but
I really don't either.
it exists.
Yes.
There's
our
Hammer.
Oh my god, that's disgusting. Oh, our restreamer did the thing. How dare you betray us like this, Amaranth? That is probably number 3 on the top 3 disgusting places that Hammer could have been, by the way.
That's really bad news for Lumaga.
Yes, you're right, it is. That's gonna put Signumbs, by the way, in go mode at an hour, 15 minutes, about, we'll say 45 seconds. So yeah, that's a bow-locked hammer, as chat points out, so this may open up a gap too wide for Lumaga to be able to close, because he is going to have to go find a bow, whether it be the one we know is in Pinned Mire or where the other one is made its way to go back and grab that.
Oh my god!
My god!
Oh
Are
my
you
god!
kidding me? Wow! This is still very much Signumbs' race to lose. Oh wait, no! No, because Signumbs isn't going to get silvers. There's no way he's going to go back there. This is going to be insane.
Lumaga just realizing he's in go mode.
Lumaga is not in go mode yet. He needs to go grab that hammer. Signumbs, however...
He did. He potion glitched. He's
Oh.
got it.
Snap, okay. Somebody go alert the race sync and close race groups on the Link to the Past Discord. Or the Rando Discord, because, oh boy, here we go. 17 thwacks with the hammer and a couple swipes with that golden sword is all we need to take out Helmasaur King, which Signumbs does. I was talking about... I know why I made the mistake, because I was talking about the hammer being bow locked. I just completely spaced over the fact that Lumaga did in fact potion glitch, even though I saw him do it. Whoopsies! Alright, so... Signumb's gonna have a couple probably about a minute of advantage here, as he is entering Eastern Palace while Lumaga is still making his way down to Helmasaur King.
I can't believe there was another bone pod.
Same. My amorous roommate would like everybody to know that now this is pod racing. Yeah, a couple seconds of dead air is exactly what that joke deserved. Lumaga starting his 17th thwacks with a hammer to get the mask off, and then he'll be poking the giant exposed weak spot for massive damage.
Yeah, sorry about the dead air. I was getting a cough drop, and then I dropped it, and then I couldn't find it. It was a whole thing.
Yeah. Okay, that's fine. Everything's fine. Signumb's already gonna be almost to Armos Knights here. So I'm gonna have about an entire Gomo dungeon of a lead on Lumaga. This race is not over yet, but oh boy.
This is going to come down to Ganon's Tower, who does what checks. Now, they've been pretty in sync, so they're probably going to do the same checks for the big key. But if one goes right and one goes left, it could be.
Or, you know, if some sort of execution fail happens. Yes, they're on red mail and, 12 plus hearts. But
15 bottles.
Yeah. But that doesn't prevent a fall from happening. That doesn't prevent a Wallmaster from happening. Although the only place Wallmaster would be useful, the thing is tile room or right side. Doesn't prevent, running out of something from happening. Like, for example, Signumbs only has 7 arrows at the moment. Cool Papa Bell pointing out, imagine if one of them had gone directly to pod after doing Aga.
That would have been like an insane jet seat.
See, I was technically correct. The best kind of correct.
Technically kind?
Yeah. Alright. Signumb's going to do Swamp here. Because he has dreamed of a Swamp Go mode for a long time, and he's getting it. Because it wouldn't be me on comms unless I dropped a Dr. Bobtastic reference.
Hail to the king of parody songs. The Weird Owl of the Link to the Past community, if you will.
Indeed. He just dropped a new song the other day, I believe, if I remember correctly. Meanwhile, Lumaga, polishing off Armos Knights, doesn't quite get the quick kill, and oh boy, this is turning into a bit of a mess. There we go. Alright. Lumaga taking down his Armos Knights, and we'll see where he decides to go next. I mean, I doubt it would be anywhere except Skull Woods, or Swamp Palace. Why did I say Skull Woods? What? Oh no, he's gonna go ice first. Interesting. I mean, I'm used to being wrong at this point, yep. Yeah, and both runners are in go mode. There's going to be very little, if any, checks done in chess for these dungeons. I mean, granted, they both could decide to try and open things that are directly in their way to try and fish out silvers, but it's funny that we know where both bows are, but our runners got their first bow in different locations.
And neither one is gonna have so.
Yep. Because that bow was, well, technically Signumb's hammer was go mode, but that bow was pretty much their go mode, so they're just like, yeah, we're done here. Signumb's just about to the Argus fight, which should be no problem with Gold Sword. Lumaga just about to the Ice Palace Bomb Jump, which can sometimes be a problem if you're not particularly feeling it. That looks good. Got him.
I just think the interesting thing about this seed was that clutch bow for Lumaga. I mean, that was just insane.
Oh. that could have been disastrous.
I mean, it definitely would have been game over.
Yeah. Because with that hammer being where it was, that opening up so much, yeah, there's no way Lumaga goes to Pendant Mire for a long, long time.
That was a beautiful Argus fight for Signumbs.
Indeed it was. Now, Signumbs, I would assume, is going to head to ice here. I would have laughed so hard if he had fluted to 1 and done Turtle Rock, just to prove me wrong from 15 minutes in the past. Granted, that would be incredibly stupid for him to do, given that, that he then has to come all back up the mountain to do Gan's Tower, but... Lumaga, meanwhile, has just been quietly destroying Ice Palace. And polishes it off with a... never mind. Oh, okay,
Very
that was
nice.
a pretty good recovery. That was a pretty darn good cold stare kill. So Lumaga gonna head over and do his Argus fight, and then we're gonna see both runners head to Turtle Rock. Don't quite know what happened there on Lumaga's side. He just was like, I want to see the entrance to Ice Palace one more time. Okay, we're good. Oh! He wanted to refill his arrows and was just kind of on autopilot. Okay, then. Nice quick.
Definitely not a bad play, then you don't have to worry about it for the rest of the...
Nice quick kill on the double Stalfos room there by Signumbs. Signumbs having himself a pretty decent Ice Palace as well.
I find this sprite is a little difficult to line up bomb jumps with.
Yeah, that's why I always use the sword
Signum.
method. I don't trust doing it with the sprite shadow. I always use the sword lineup.
I do have to say the bonk sprite for Signums, turning it into the vulnerable ghost is pretty awesome.
Yeah, well, I mean, he gets turned into the vulnerable ghost on damage as well, which is also awesome.
Yeah, definitely a lot of work went into that sprite, and anybody who has never tried to make one, you should try, just because it gives you a lot of respect for the people that have made them.
Yeah. So, Oro pointing out in chat that unless Signums makes the same exact play, the arrow upgrade could come into play if the Gatten Tower Big Key is behind our Ice Armos.
True. Cool Papa Bell. Yes, the sprite shadows are consistent. However, the shadows are not consistent per sprite. So some sprites you can't really see the shadow. Other sprites don't have shadows at all. So it does make it a little difficult sometimes to use the... Like, as you can see, the Pac-Man ghost almost covers a lot of the shadow. So sometimes it's a little harder. I always use the Shy Guy sprite, so I kind of just know just from muscle memory.
Since I generally tend to play with the Abigail sprite nowadays, I suppose I could try and learn the shadow method of doing it, but sword works decently enough for me for now. Alright. Signums has cleared Ice Palace and is going to be heading to Turtle Rock. Probably going to want to keep an eye on and when Signums enters versus when Lumaga enters. Just get an idea of where we are gap-wise.
Now, this could be interesting if Lumaga goes straight to Turtle Rock while Signumbs is getting his bottles. This could make up some time.
Close the gap a little bit, because I don't believe Signums saw that Waterfall Fairy was handing out free blue potion, whereas Lumaga has, and Lumaga has not had cause to use that blue potion, so I believe he still has it in his back pocket. Both runners also still have 2 red potions, because that's what 2 of our bottles came preloaded with today.
I mean, I would say that Signums probably feels slightly ahead, making that Misery Mire dip and pulling out that bow so quickly, but has no idea that the other bow was in pods, so might be making some safety plays that are going to cost him some time here.
This is true. Meanwhile, Lumaga is cleaning up the Argus fight, and down goes Argus. So this is going to be, looks like it's going to be a little bit closer than I was expecting it to be, because of the, as you said, the safety plays Signumbs is making. Wrong medallion, buddy. All right. So we'll call it 131.05 for Signums for the rumbling animation to start. Restreamer also just keeping track of the actual entry time. Gonna see if he can get away with ignoring the fire bar room. Small key in the chest below. Turtle Rock is one of the more annoying dungeons, period, but it's also really annoying to go mode simply because of the key layout.
Yeah, because there is really not too much. There's no such thing as like a go mode T-Rock. I mean, you can skip the lava chest, but that's pretty much it.
Alright, looks like Lumaga's gonna be about a minute and a half behind. Which is still plenty, like, there's still time remaining for Lumaga to make some of that up, but the gap is quickly closing. That window of opportunity, I should say, is quickly closing.
Yeah, I mean, Ganon's tower routing can play a very big role, though. It's still close enough that that could be very significant.
Yeah, about roughly a minute and a half, something like a minute and 27 seconds. I'm doing the math right. Yeah, it's going to come down to Gan's tower routing and execution. Going to be interesting to see both where that big key is and if either of our runners have any specific problems in Gan's tower. All right, there's the hook shot. Oh, missed the quick shot.
Now we can go ahead and steal the key here because we did get that big key here in this. This is a map chest.
Yep. Although I have had it happen where I go to steal this key and then have to come back anyway because it's the only source of a small key, which kind of sucks.
I've not realized that it was the big key and left it before.
Ouch. Regardless, Feeling on top of the world when you steal that key only to have to come back is probably one of the most embarrassing feelings in running rando.
Yes.
Up there with fluting in the dark, trying to flute in the dark world, or mirror in the light world.
Or use the mirror in a dungeon to delete a block.
Ooh. Or honestly, just tactical mirroring in a dungeon at all, really.
Oh yeah, I've done that trying to menu fast to my bow and hit the mirror.
Call me crazy, but I think Lumaga's made up a pretty decent amount of time already.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Oro pointing out I'm misremembering because for it to be a small key in there, it'd be a key-to-key trade. So I might just be misremembering. I was that I made ignored chest hoping to find the big key and had to come back because that chest was the big key. All right. Signumbs going to be skipping the safety exit, which honestly, yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
As pointed out repeatedly, both of these runners are loaded to bear with safeties. If they can't beat Trinex with this loadout, there's a problem. Having said that, watch as one of these runners somehow die, and I feel really bad. Because with the gold sword especially, you only need to hit each head, I believe. 3, or, 3, because counting is hard. And yep, that's going to be a very quick Trinex fight for Signumbs. Crystal dropping down at 136.50. Never mind. 137.01 is when the compass comes up. And yeah, Lumaga is definitely gonna have made up some time. And with Signumbs receiving that 7th crystal, Amarith has already started the game in chat. There are 22 locations in Ganon's Tower where that Ganon's Tower big key can be. Get your guesses 1 to 22 in chat for a chance to win a unspecified amount of points from Sahabot and be placed on our leaderboard. All right.
Oh no, Lumaga having some trouble with Trinex.
Oh, that's unfortunate. Nice recovery. Still gonna lose some time. I just pictured Brooklyn Nine-Nine there. Cool motive, still murder. Looks like Signumbs is gonna go full left. Gonna skip the Hope Room. Interesting.
And this might be Dark Magician for Signumbs.
Or is that Pink Magician? We're not gonna get into that. Anyway, chest number 1, or location number 1, is the torch. It was the compass, and it is skipped. Chest number 2, 50 rupees. Chest number 3 is a piece of heart. Chest number 4, 50 rupees. Chest number 5 is a small key. Alright, Lumaga has made up 20 seconds worth of time here. Signumbs taking those keys now and is indeed going to go to the Hope Room and to the right side. We'll see what happens here. Chest 6 is the map. Chest 7 is a small key. Chest number 8 is not going to be the tile room. I would not put it past this seed. Alright. Alright, chest number 9 coming. Or excuse me, chest number 8 still. I just got done talking about why this next chest is going to be chest number 8. Pay attention, self. Meanwhile, Lumaga going to go hope full left here from the looks of it. Alright, chest number 8 for Signumbs. 20 rupees. Number 9, 3 bombs. Number 10, single rupee. Number 11, red rupee. Looking like it's going to be on the left, which means Lumaga's going to make up a little bit of time here.
Lumaga's going to take the lead unless it is in tile room.
That's true.
Because Signumbs has to go back through the hammer.
All right. All right, so Signumbs coming up on chest number, I believe this is 12?
Yeah.
All right. So, can I just start calling them from Lumaga's screen? Because we know what their counts are going to be. We're just going to be seeing them sooner.
But we don't know which one Signumbs is going to open first.
Valid point. Correct. As usual.
Thank you, son.
Well, I mean, we know it's not going to be chest number 13 because that's hookshot. All right, randomizer room coming up. So named because if you see this room outside of a randomizer run, you're either 100%ing or doing something wrong. Oh boy!
There it is.
We have ourselves a race. Chest number 13. 14 looks like it's gonna be. Wait, math.
17.
Yep.
And nobody guessed chest number 7.
So who was closest?
I think our closest is probably 14, which was.
Yeah, I think that was 17 because I said 13 twice, so I'm pretty sure that was 17. We'll go with it.
Yeah, I wrote it. I made marks as he opened.
Okay. All right, so Slowpoke was the winner for today's guessing game and scores 12 points on the leaderboard.
Which, interestingly enough, Lumaga has taken the lead.
He has.
This is an execution race at this
Yep,
point.
and yeah, that's not helping Signumbs' cause. You're taking a couple of shots in Mimic 2 here. Oh boy. Anyway, Lumaga, or not Lumaga, Slowpoke 316, you have won a lifetime supplies. Oh boy. Supply of Link to the Past randomized seeds. Redeemable at altgbr.com. Please consult the doctor if your standard seed lasts longer than 4 hours.
Oh, and Signumbs is taking the safety room.
Knows he might still
I mean,
feel-
don't get me wrong, I'm all about safeties, but right now we know Signumbs can't.
Yeah. But like you mentioned earlier, Signumbs might feel ahead. Because he might feel like he made the play to get that bow in Misery Mire. So, and you know, who could expect the Spanish Inquisition? I mean, the hammer and bow in Palace of Darkness.
Exactly.
All right, Lumaga taking care of the first Wizrobe room. And moving moving ever so swiftly on to the second. That top right Wizrobe always seems to want to cause problems. Is doing so for Lumaga. There we go. So yeah, this has been back and forth here.
Oh man, poor Signumbs having some trouble with this.
Yeah, and Lumaga having trouble with the torch room here. I think your best option is going to be to just fall over and try again, buddy. Like, I would have walked out the door and reset the entire room, because I'm pretty sure you can walk out the door left and it'll reset, right? Like, you don't have to wait for it to time out. Lumaga needs to watch his magic here, too.
I think so. That's enough
There
for
we
a
go.
fire rush.
Alright, get that full magic refill there. Take that up the stairs. So yeah, that trouble with the torch room is going to cancel out the trouble Signumbs had with Landless 2. In fact, Signumbs is making up a little bit of ground here. Lumaga opening up the top 4 chests here. I think he's trying to fish for silvers. This race is close enough.
Yeah, definitely silvers are half magic.
Yeah, this race is close enough that every little decision like this is going to very quickly add up.
Oh, absolutely.
Because
Lumaga can hover, so I'm wondering, although it has that hook shot out
yeah,
and has gold sword, I wouldn't risk it.
yeah, no. Like, if we were looking at Master Sword Silverless, maybe, but Gold Sword Silverless, nah, not worth. Because conversely, if you're Lumaga, you have to feel super behind right now. Because we're an hour and 46 minutes in. Lumaga did not go Dependent Mire. So to him, it just kind of feels like an Aga Seed that also just happened to have really bad items in Palace of Darkness. He's got to be wondering where the dot done is.
Yeah, for sure.
Chat pointing out that this second bow was not bow locked, actually. It was in the dark U-shaped hallway. Geometry Wars here for Lumaga and Signum way.
We have Aga 2 down for Lumaga.
Well, I was more surprised that both our runners were in Aga 2, because I thought the gap was a little bit wider than that. All of a sudden, this is gonna get sweaty. Wow, that came out wrong. Oh boy, that came out wrong. Moving ever so swiftly on. I can feel you laughing from here, Jinxie.
You're my most favorite person to commentate with in this whole.
Oh man, Lumaga starting off here. Gold Sword should make quick work of the first 2 phases of Ganon. And this is going to... Don't make it worse, chat. Oh no. This is going to come down to silverless execution here.
I can't believe how close this race is.
Me either. Lumaga 3/4 of the way through phase number 3. Signumbs chewing through phase 2 here. Lumaga with that 4th hit, gonna receive the news that his arrows were in Memory Mire. Gonna hit that torch glitch. And away we go. Each 12 hits, there's 2. Does not quite get the triple. Has to move out of the way of the fire bat to and wait to relight the torch. 3, 4.
Oh,
they're
missed one.
Yep. Signumbs now on phase 4 as well. Lumaga, I believe, is at 5 or 6. Every time I see runners go down to the bottom of the screen to try to bait Ganon into teleporting down there, I just think of that one time I saw a runner get telefragged and it cost them the race.
Which would be today, if that happens.
Yes, but
I think you missed that one too.
Yep. And Signumbs,
Oh
meanwhile,
my.
running a little bit low on health. Something to watch out for. Lumaga is going, you know what? I still have a minute to use the fire rod. Both our runners getting a little down there, health-wise. And the pig is exploding for Lumaga. If he manages to avoid the most dangerous 1x3 bridge in all of Hyrule, he is take the win here. Is that an exploding pig for Signumbs?
Gosh.
Oh my god!
Look at this.
Oh!
Look at that.
Get your GGs out in chat. Lumaga is your winner, finishing in first place with an official 1 hour, 50 minutes, and 45 seconds. Signumbs, not too far behind, 1 hour, 50 minutes, 53 seconds. Ooh, lads.
Wow. I hope they come in first.
Let's see here. All right. What says he covered on costs? I just read the SRL room. Thanks a lot, Amaranth. I appreciate it. We have both of our runners in here for a chat. GG's, guys.
Oh my god, thank you. GG
Wow.
Signumbs.
Yeah, that's really all we got here is wow.
So Signumbs, you made a really big gamble and you dropped in Misery Mire where you found your bow. And then you went to Pod. You both pulled the hammer at the same time. However, Lumaga did not have that bow. The second bow was in Pod. It was such a close race. It was insane.
Yeah, I guess so. I kind of thought I might have a lead there once I got it in Mire. But you never know since you can't see what the other person's doing.
I know. And it actually, you were in the lead up until Dark Magician, and then you went right side. And as soon as you started right side, Lumaga came in, did the Hope Room, and then went left. And that's what put him in the lead. But I mean, it was seconds.
So let me say, I felt behind for most of the seed. The light world was pretty bad for me, both just where I went, routing wise, execution wise, and then last locationing the lamp. I felt behind there, and then once I hit the dark world, it was fine until I got hammer and bow. But even then, I was like, oh man, he's probably already got both of these. He probably went Pod first.
Nope, I skipped Pod. Pod was the last place I went. It was hammer go mode.
It was literally the most synced race I have certainly ever commentated, possibly ever seen. Like, it was very, very linear in the beginning. Like, for at least the first 45 minutes, you guys did exactly the same thing, almost the exact same way. Like, if you watch the restream, you're going to see that. The only divergence was when Signumbs went to Misery Mire, because Lumaga, you went back and did Magic Bat. And that was where the divergence came. And then you just synced right back up. I mean, it was neck and neck the whole race.
Wow.
And then when you pulled the bow, Lumaga, we about died.
Yeah. Because, yeah, nobody in their right minds expects one bow and hammer to both be in Palace of Darkness.
Yeah, I was wondering if he had done maybe a potion glitch and found the hammer, and if so, that might have taken him to do Pod and everything else, and that would have wasted a lot of time.
That is
was
what I
kind
ended up doing.
That was kind of what I was hoping he did.
But at that point, I still had, I think, 5 crystals to go. So that's why I felt behind. But I really got to watch this one back. I think that means game 2 is going to be just as exciting.
Well, we will definitely be looking forward to it. It certainly was a joy to commentate and watch.
Absolutely.
So yeah, I mean, I really that speed. Wow, that seed kind of left me kind of speechless. It's just like it was just from getting tempered before you guys even left CAC to the seed basically leading you around by the nose in the whole clearing light world, and then going, yep, too bad you were expecting hammer, too bad, lamp time. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, when I play, it's either I get all the swords fast, or I play in over an hour and I still don't have one. Feels like.
Yeah, that's right. We did get tempered before Kakariko. It was on Sick Kid.
Yep.
Yeah, actually, the 4th sword was also in Kakariko. It was on Magic Bat.
Yeah. So yeah, this was a seed. And if you were the biggest galaxy brain imaginable, it could have been a jet seed, but not quite.
That's because Wes cursed you. Sorry.
I've cursed a lot of people today.
He said it 10 minutes in that it was a jet seed, and I said, you just oops all dungeon then.
And it's like, well, normally I would have switched the fire rod at the end for Aga, and I just didn't tonight for some reason. I think I probably would have tied him at least if I had done that. Oh well.
All right.
I mean, but the good thing is this was just game 1, so we have at least one more race to look forward to, which I'm pretty sure chat is pretty hyped up for, and so are we. So we definitely want to know, will there be any changes, Signumbs, or will that?
I'm not sure. I have to think about it. I might switch something up though.
All right. Well,
Yeah, definitely some game 2.
Yep, game 2 hype indeed. It's been an amazing Challenge Cup so far. Still a lot of action to go. Both here on the Go Mode podcast and occasionally over on Zelda Speedruns 1, 2, and 3. AGDQ happening right now. I made reference to it a few times, but the Fallout Anthology run is an early highlight. If you haven't caught that, you need to see that mod when it goes up. Skyward Sword was an okay run. I think Link to the Past has already happened. I'm not sure. The crowd control race. Regardless, a lot of Link to the Past randomizer content coming both here and on the Speed Gaming family of channels. Yeah. War, Jinxie Girl, Amarith Alterna, our resenior, Ikir, our tracker. This is Westside Vandal, and have a good night. And want to do this?
Do it. Do it.
You want to do it with me since complete the joke? In 3, 2, 1.
Looks like we're
crap.
blasting
Nope,
off
he's
again.
blasting off again.
Have a good night, everyone.
Good night. Oh, we're so fired.